Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
He is a comic book nerd.
In brightest day and darkest night. We can learn a lot from comics.
She is a reality TV junkie.
No idea.
Snooki had her baby. A dollar makes me holla.
Chris likes sci-fi.
They do a brain transplant into this whole new body, but it's you.
Kristen likes celebrity gossip.
Breaking news.
Oh, more breaking news?
It's official. Official. Before it was just a rumor. These two, our pets, moved back in together.
What do they have in common? Nothing. You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast.
Now, here's Chris and Kristen.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Kristen. Welcome back.
Welcome back. And I've noticed in the past couple times I've been doing an episode, because I do listen to headphones when we record, but now that we have an older computer, there's a bit of a delay, so I always screw up Two Strangers, One Podcast. So once again,
what do you do?
Hello. Well, I'm just saying, I always say, like, I said the other episode, I said Two Strangers, One Podcast.
Oh.
One cast. And I said one, and I think I said once, hi, I'm Chris. I messed up my name. So we can say hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast.
Welcome,
I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristen. You just can't get rid of us.
Yeah, we're
so
back.
Sorry.
Episode 102, goddammit. We're coming up on a year.
420, baby.
You
think we're like some huge potheads?
We've been friends. I mean, other than, we've been, well, I don't know, friends. Are we friends? Yes, we're friends.
We're acquaintances.
We're strangers or whatever.
Strangers that grew into friends.
Yeah, episode 102. And,
business associates.
Yeah, and it's like, someone, a friend of mine made a comment, she goes, it's great you guys do 2 episodes a week. She goes, like a lot, cause most podcasts just do one a week.
We unfortunately have way too much time on our hands.
Well, what it is, it's the Nerdist podcast. Chris Hardwick with the Nerdist. Yeah. Obviously he's been doing it for a couple of years now. He does 3 a week.
Wow.
So, I want to, he's getting money and he has celebrities.
He's got connections.
And his situation is, he's based out of the E building in California, Los Angeles. So, his studio was an old radio studio that no one uses anymore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
and
so.
then he kind of converted it into
a podcast. So.
Perfect spot for a podcast, an old radio station.
An old radio station in the E building. Right. So, apparently they have a big window that looks out to the lobby, and there's a constant flow of celebrities going through. So they've grabbed people. So we're doing our best that we can
to get our celebrities. Sorry they don't just walk by us. You can say, hey, pop in here for like a half hour.
Yeah, so I think we're doing pretty awesome. I like to put 2 hours a week because honestly, I wouldn't be satisfied with just doing 1 hour a week. I wouldn't.
We got more to talk about. We like to gab.
And really, I do 3 shows if you count Chris's Hidden Metal show.
There you go. Chris is just so busy.
And I'm so backed up. I had just uploaded 2 days ago next week's episode. So and I already have my idea for the next episode after that. And it's unfulfilling. It's not, and I don't want to put them all out. I want to blow my whole load in one day.
Heyo.
You got to stroke it. You got to work it. You got. You can't just.
I always hated that term.
Bust a nut.
Load.
Yeah,
blow a big load. Because it's the grossest.
Girls.
We have to deal with it. It's you blew a big load. And it's the grossest saying. Anything to do with the cock in general and the semen, the jizz. There's no good way to say anything.
Yeah.
And it's just even gross when it's he blew a big load. Because we all know that feeling and it's ugh. And
it's
the grossest saying.
I knew a girl that she hated, get your nut. Is it, I'm gonna get my nut, bust my nut, and she hated it.
It's because we have a visual of what it is. You guys think it's funny and we're there's this, which is really gross. I was on one of my stupid websites, probably Perez Hilton, who knows. Okay. And they have different advertisements every now and then. Uh-huh. And all of a sudden it's semenology, and it's a book that this guy wrote, which is disgusting, the whole concept, and how, I don't know how he came up with it, because I don't have the book. So I click on, I'm what is this? Because it's this glass of wine on it. Uh-huh. It looks like a nice fancy book. So I'm semenology, what is this? So,
curiosity.
Yeah. So it's if you don't like to swallow, however you get the semen, I don't know if you pick it up with your hand, but there's these different drink mixes that you make with the semen.
Okay.
So it's like alcoholic beverages with the semen.
Oh, so like mixology,
yeah,
kind of
like mixology, but with semen.
Well,
I'm like, how? So you just let him jizz in the cup? Like, what?
Yeah, like, you spit
and
it back
I don't
out.
like swallowing to begin with, so now I want to make a drink out of it? Like, what?
And it's probably, I guarantee it's probably all that stuff that, like, they tell you to add to regular drinks. Like,
right.
grenadine.
The cover is so funny because it looks like a nice glass of wine. It's like, that's like semenology. It's like all, I don't know the
protein wine.
I don't know the drinks that go along with it, what complement the semen. I'm not sure. I think it's like a meal too.
What
like,
goes with the semen? Is it red meat or fish? What goes with the semen?
I was like, somebody made a book on that.
It is protein, you know.
Have like a book signing and you have the drinks lined up too. We had to go through a lot of semen. Yeah. Go through a lot of semen for this. Get people off Craigslist to do the semen. We just need your semen for the day.
Yeah, I remember there was a thing years ago saying it was and they advertised like on Howard Stern and stuff like that, where you would eat it and it would make your semen taste better. Like, and I forgot exactly,
that you eat?
Yeah, and I think that's bullshit. I think that's
your digestive system doesn't even go to that part of your body.
Like, like
how does it get there?
Yeah, I'd mentioned in another episode, like, if you eat a bunch of marshmallows, you eat nothing but marshmallows for a week. It's not like your shit's gonna be marshmallow.
Right.
So
I can understand maybe if there was like a cream or something you put on your balls, maybe it absorbs in there. But eating something, I don't even think it comes close to touching that part of
But it's a guy that wrote the book, so that would mean.
So I'm wondering if he's.
Oh, okay.
Go on the other side.
Like, do you have to?
Because how did you come across this book? Like, you obviously had to do your research. You know what I'm saying? Like, you obviously had to do testing. What complements the saltiness of this? So I would love to know how his research was. That's the book I want to read. How did you create this book? I want to hear what happened before.
The story behind the
documentary.
documentary.
I wonder how many recipes are in there. It's probably like put that in the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have
Probably like those. You could probably make a fortune at like a gay bar or something.
Okay. Yeah. Because women ain't gonna go there.
Circle jerk,
Because women come for free from a guy,
exactly.
and they don't want it. So they ain't gonna pay $6 for
deal
a glass.
with your load. Sorry.
This is Cosmo.
Yeah, I wonder what the names are.
Gizmopolitan or something like that.
I got it.
Harvey Loadbanger or something like that. Yeah,
I'm glad we started off the podcast about big loads.
Yeah,
I like
eating
that.
shit and eating cum. God
swallow your bubble gum.
God
and
bless
America.
America.
Blow a bubble out your ass.
Oh.
That happened. No.
But it's like you mentioned, like ads and stuff like that. As anyone who listens to the show knows, I've been going to the library for my internet access. And it's just it's a great. Now what happens is
go to the library. Who goes there anymore?
Well, I mean, it's. Oh, and it was so funny. My roommates. Okay, I'm looking. My roommates aren't here. I had went to the library the other day, and
they probably think you're so smart.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing is
Chris is always at the library.
It was Saturday, and I was in the library from 9 to 5. I went there because what happened was the night before, I dropped my keys. And so I didn't have my house keys. So luckily my roommate was home, they let me in. And then, so I said, look, and obviously I feel bad, I don't have that, cause they're worried, who has the keys or whatever. So I said, okay, I think I left it in the library. So I said, I'll go to the library first thing in the morning, as soon as they open. Luckily enough, my keys were in the lost and found. Cool. So, I have like an 8-year-old laptop. So I use the library computers first. Mm-hmm. And then after cause it gives you like a 2-hour countdown thing. And
after 2 hours, yes.
After 2 hours, I just pull out my laptop and I use, the regular internet that they have in the library. And, and it is convenient to have your own computer because it's not like you have to redo the settings all over again and
download what you need.
Passwords and if you need a program and stuff like that. But now what I've been doing is that since I don't have cable, I've been acquiring television shows online, trying to, catch up. I mean, I haven't even touched.
Legal.
I haven't even touched The Walking Dead because I know all my friends keep talking about how great it is. I keep
seeing posts about people. Like, didn't the finale episode?
It just finale, and it's not coming back till like October. So people are flipping the fuck out. And I watched.
When did they think it was going to come back? Like what? Well, people are just mad about the.
Yeah, you got, and then the good thing is that. If there's still ratings there, they can go another freaking 10 seasons. You know what I'm saying? There's so much in because they follow the comic loosely. So, so my roommates go. And my roommates are, for the lack of a better term.
Go where?
going to the library.
Oh.
So my roommates go.
That's awkward.
They're like, who's your girlfriend? I said, what do you mean, who's your girlfriend? And they're like, no one could be in the library from 9 to 5.
Get away from you people.
Yeah, I want to get the fuck out of the house. But it's like,
So they went?
No. I went to the library.
Like
and I was
saying they went. I was like, and dude, what?
No, that's what I'm saying. I was in the library all day, and then when I finally come home,
that's what they said.
They were like, oh, what were you doing all day? You hanging out with your girlfriend. And I said, no, what are you talking about? And they're like, no one could be in the library from 9 to 5. Yeah, we can. It's called being literate and...
No, people can do it. No, it's right.
Yeah. Why would you want to be in a room filled with books? I don't get it.
Filled books. Then there are things with pages and words on it.
I want to sit here all day and watch Kojak reruns on the Me Network. Yeah, my entertainment television.
Yeah, oh my god, it's...
Yeah.
That's the worst channel. Because I didn't grow up with those shows, so I think it's the worst channel.
I get it because...
I get that people do like it, because it's...
Yeah, there's people are scared of new stuff. And it's the greatest combination. I mean, like, old Star Trek episodes and, like, Odd Couple and...
What's always on, like, because they put it on at work, like the older people, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Emergency or something?
Emergency, and then, like, Bonanza. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, I'm like, this is what you people used to watch growing up.
But it's like, and I get, in my room I have my little digital converter box. I don't know, I just caught up in watching all these documentaries, like, stuff that, I guess culturally it's good to know about, but,
otherwise you wouldn't be in contact with it.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, about like, in Germany and they exiled, there were these Jewish, obviously like during World War II, these Jewish, musicians that were like orchestra people, and they left and they actually went to Palestine, what's known as now as Palestine.
Yeah.
So, talk about out of the frying pan into the fire, but they left, to escape Hitler and SS and the Nazis. Then they go to Palestine, but then, a big bunch of these people were actually, orchestra performers.
Yeah.
So since they all kind of, obviously like most people do, when you go to one area, they all kind of built this little like German, because they were German, little German Jewish community in fucking Palestine, and they were all orchestra musicians. So like, trying to, and of course obviously since they're broke, like they're performing what they can, and they have they have old instruments, and they're trying to build like the theater for them to play, and like guys are banging on wood while they're trying to build up the orchestra. And it was, now usually that's not something, I mean, I think I'm a little open-minded, but you wouldn't think that's, and I got so caught up on like, what's going on?
I hope they built the theater in time.
Yeah, and then, and then I'm like, they gotta make this into a movie, like, cause, and like, and then there's people who got like, homesick, like they didn't want to live in what's now known as Palestine, so they went back home, but then like,
shit got real?
They went back home and then got caught up in the bullshit and got sent to
I was gonna say, why would you go back? Well, obviously they didn't know at the time, right?
Yeah, they would just like,
they wouldn't want to go back, but we know more now of what was really going on. They didn't.
Yeah, and they went, there was like 2 stories about people that like went back home and then got caught up in the Holocaust. And it's like,
awful.
But it is like, it was like at the end, like when they had, cause the end was this one, actual like German composer went, not composer, orchestrator, I forgot, I can't believe Conductor, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he comes and he's like a world famous, now mind you, this was back in it, talking about the 40s, orchestra people were like rock stars, what I'm saying? Like they were
huge.
So,
they were getting laid. Let's put it that way.
For this guy to show up was a big deal. So that's like what the documentary was building up to, is that he comes out and he plays, and then like you see, because what had happened was they started playing and they weren't like up to his standards in the beginning, like they were playing like, and he like,
I was gonna say, he freaks out, kicks the stands over,
he's cursing, and they said like he had, because he'd known a bunch of different languages, so he's cursing at them in French, in German, in Jewish. And he just, or Hebrew or whatever. And so he's just ranking on them, but then like after that, then they all play, yeah. He whipped them into shape. So, okay, and I can't believe, once again, I never get to the topic I want to say. So I'm in
what the hell are you even talking about?
I'm in the library.
Speaking of Holocaust.
Speaking of Holocaust.
I know, right? Like, Bieber went to like a Holocaust museum, the Anne Frank thing, and I guess it's a big deal of what he said when he signed people are making a controversy, and what he signed, like the guest book. It was like, Anne Frank seemed like such like a, I don't know, was a survivor, whatever. Not a survivor, but she said something nice about Anne Frank, and then at the end it was like, if she was alive today, I would hope she'd be a believer, or whatever.
Oh my
But
god.
the museum is like, people are making it a big deal, then the museum's like, no, we forgive him, he's a kid, you know, whatever.
Yeah, he's a very distorted view of the world.
Like, if she was alive today, I would hope she'd be a believer. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, you
because the
sing
first
pop
part was
songs.
okay. Like, oh, Anne Frank was such an inspiration or something like that. And then that's how he ended it. It was like,
Yeah, she
fucking
lived.
idiot.
She
You
lived
went
in
there.
fear,
Yeah.
and wrote. And actually, there is not for nothing. There is a little controversy about the Diary of Anne Frank. Not that it was. The only controversy is that they feel that it's been edited and re-edited, and
I'm sure there's some.
and people added, like the quote unquote editors have like kind of added
Touched
like little
it up.
touches,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm sure.
because you know when she's a 14-year-old girl, and unfortunately, just let's be real, you know, at that time, girls weren't really taught to read
14,
and write
yeah.
and stuff like that. So, you
Not
know,
anything sophisticated, you know, like as in book worthy.
yeah. So, I mean, there is a little, and I don't want to say controversy or whatever. I mean, a lot of, but the one thing that everyone does agree on is that even if there were people who edited
It's
it,
still telling the story.
yeah, it's still the tone. They kept,
Yeah.
they kept the, you know, it's not like they changed it altogether.
Yeah,
you
we're
know?
like, this is the story. Now.
And then the
We're making
spaceships
it-
came out and robots came out of the
The
ground.
Avengers came down.
Captain America did a right hook and knocked out Hitler. You know, so
crazy.
with the Anne Frank and so I would go in a heartbeat. I would go to the museum.
My husband, she said, well, I don't know how many there are. The only, I don't know if there's other
Well, there's
ones.
like one genuine one where it's like the house where she actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My mom went to the one in like Washington D.C. and she said it was amazing. She said they make you feel like how she would feel, like kind of lost, because she said it's dark and it's kind of windy, so you're just kind of following along. It's just that unsettling feeling, like, and it's purposely built that way.
Yeah.
She said it's just quiet and just everybody goes through. She said it was such an amazing experience, and I think at the end, or at least one part in there, she said it's really, really sad. It's just like all the shoes. They have them all in one.
Oh.
She's like, and it's just all these shoes there that came from.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and it's just like, it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's very unsettling.
Yeah,
But you said it was an amazing experience, and you get to, I think you get like a person before when you go in, like they give you a name, each person, and it's kind of like you follow, like their storyline.
Oh, okay. That's
And you
that's
get like
interesting.
different info on people as you go through. I heard just really that from my mom. She said it was amazing.
Yeah, and I'm
That's
pretty
the
sure
one in
with
Washington D.C. I don't know.
Yeah, the one
I'm
in
sure there's
Germany,
other ones.
the one in Germany, like it's at the actual house. I mean, of course, you know, they've roped off the areas
Yeah.
and
That'd
but
be amazing to go through.
and they have a plaque, and it's like she says, despite the things I've gone through, whatever, I still, and it's like a quote from her, I still believe in the goodness of the human spirit, and it's like. God
Wow,
damn, it's like
14-year-old
deep,
thing,
you know,
right?
it's like, you know, like, God,
And now
that's,
you're talking about semenology. She's over there talking about goodness of people and forgiving.
yeah, the shit she went
I
through.
know.
You know, and so it was, that's what I heard. That
would be cool
and that's
to
like a
go
quote,
through.
and I believe, like, they have it, like, on a plaque on the wall or something saying.
My
So-
quotes would be like, fuck chick. Get me the fuck out of here. They gotta bleep all my quotes.
These motherfuckers! Where the fuck were the Americans? Could you drop some bombs on these Kraut
We
motherfuckers?
can't use a lot of Kristen's quotes, but we could give you a sense of what she was going through.
That's horrible. And I don't mean when I said Kraut, please understand, I'm making a joke. I'm only speaking in the terminology of the time. You were talking about, well, yeah, the documentary, but you were talking about clicking on the link. So once again,
Oh, yeah, everything.
I bring my laptop to the library, and to get the TV shows that I've been missing since I don't have cable anymore, I use, of course, the one of the most famous ones is the Pirate Bay. But the Pirate Bay has banner ads on both sides of the screen. And it's all like the Facebook of sex and meet singles, and it's girls like they're just about to open their bra. Like it's not, there's no nudity, but it's women in their underwear.
We're almost there.
You know, you see, but it's always like the one that always gets me, not gets me, but because now I'm in the library. And I got like, the Facebook of sex or whatever, and you see like this woman, like literally like opening her bra, like you just like not see her nipple.
It's like an old woman behind you.
You know.
I didn't click on it.
Yeah, some woman like laying on her stomach on the bed, like, talk to her now, you know. Which I'm pretty sure that's
You don't think she's working? You don't think that's her job?
Yeah, well, you know,
You don't think she's there right now, waiting for you to call her?
Yeah, she's been
think
waiting.
she's
She took
there.
that. It's been the same picture for 3 years,
I
but
think she's there.
and so like I feel
Might have been
so
her
embarrassed.
younger, yeah.
Like I have to go real quick. Like okay,
Click the next thing.
click on the link for the episode, and then you know download the episode. But then
So
it
awkward
goes
if
back
somebody's
to
behind you. It's like, okay, I wasn't looking at that.
yeah, like you know, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to illegally download TV shows. I'm not
Jeez,
trying to
no.
look at pornography. I'll do that on my own time. So
It's
that's
a library.
so it makes me feel so I have to like
Makes you feel dirty.
I kind of like crowd the screen when I'm doing it,
Yeah.
like please don't look at what I'm doing, you know. And speaking of the Russian stuff, you know, like I don't know, for some reason it's like always like those always link to like Russian websites or something like that. We've been getting a lot of first and foremost also welcome all the new listeners.
Holla.
We've been getting a whole bunch of new likes. I mean, I've been doing a bunch of spamming, so our you know we've.
We're
At the
really
very
just
least,
spamming.
we get like 3 or 4 likes a day, which is pretty
Awesome.
good because that's what we were getting when we were paying for advertising. And but on top of it, we've been also getting a lot of messages.
Yes.
Kristen and I were talking about this
And
before
they're
the show.
all conveniently the same
They're
messages.
all
Identical.
exactly the same. So
You
whoever
can't
this
fool
is,
us.
you know, whoever this is, obviously someone's trolling the internet, getting pictures of relatively attractive girls.
Yeah.
They don't want to get girls that are
Nothing
too hot.
Yeah, very
Just kind of like,
natural.
here's your average girl next door. Now,
That's
I
pretty.
noticed, I mean, you know, and I'm not saying anything about Russians. It always tends to be like Russian type names. I think it's like Russian websites or something that
Yeah,
can,
I've noticed the names are,
you know, they're not
they're not
typical American
yeah,
names.
like Smith or Miller.
Yeah, it's all,
Jones.
yeah, it's all like,
Or like Petrovsky.
Pulya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pulya Sarajev says,
Like-
I really like you, Paige.
Yeah, I really like you, Paige, is how it starts.
They always start, I always like, really like you, Paige. And what
And
it
I
is,
was like, do you really like my page?
it clicks on a link, and what it does is it gets you likes. Like, you know, for like $50, you get like 1,000 likes and stuff like that. And that's cheating. I'm not gonna. What?
Well,
So they have a bunch of. Yeah.
Start a Kickstarter for the Russian
Help us get
page.
likes. Help us pay the Russian mafia to give us likes on our page.
I
And
like your page.
I like you, Paige.
I like your page.
Yeah.
It's like,
So.
what? Excuse me? Who?
And so
Who
yeah,
likes it?
we have literally like six messages in a row with the exact
Yeah, I
same
kept
message,
seeing it. I was like, what? Who?
but
This
from
isn't
different
right.
girls.
And then .com is spelled out all the time, and it's like, please type in .com. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Sonja.
Yeah. Sanja.
Sonja. So, and when you said, I just clicked in my head when you said Smith, last name Smith.
Oh, there you go.
I do want to issue an apology. And one of those things where it wasn't on purpose. We had Alana Smith Brown on our show. I unfortunately kept saying Alana Brown Smith.
Right.
From,
Which it says
King
on
of the Nerds.
Yeah, from King of the Nerds, our interview.
And I was just going by what was on the TBS website, and I apologize. Apparently the name is Alana Smith Brown, and I've also, first of all, big huge thank you for donating to our Indiegogo.
Yes.
She donated $100, and that's awesome.
Awesome, thank you.
And-
So let's say her name right.
Yeah, so
Alana Smith
Brown. Yeah,
We
I thought it
apologize
was.
for
Yeah, I thought it was Brown Smith, and she had said, you know, I've been a Smith my whole life. I've been a
Before
Smith not
Brown.
longer than Brown. But isn't it more respect? I mean, because if your last, like,
Well,
you know, like my last, but the last name is your name, right? I mean, yeah, you get married and stuff like that, and a lot of women
it's supposed
tend
to be your maiden and then
the last
the
name.
married.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
But it's, I mean, you know, if you know, nowadays, I mean, you got to get a lot more open-minded, and maybe a husband can say, okay, flip it. You know, you can have
Yeah, maybe
Brown
it's your choice.
You know, but I guess
I'm sure it
I
could
guess
be
in the
your
more
choice.
traditional way, it's Smith Brown. So once again, thank you,
for sure.
Alana, for giving to our Indiegogo.
Yes,
And
much love.
I'm sorry if I knew, you know, and we had an episode with her. I wish she would have corrected us. I would have been more than happy to correct it. And then also because what it is, it's on our Indiegogo video where it says Alana
Yeah.
Brown Smith, and so
Okay.
now it's Alana. I guess it always was Alana Smith Brown. So
In case anybody's wondering.
sorry and thank you.
Hear about Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman, no.
Okay, this is really gross. Well, first of all, they had pictures of him working out recently. He's jacked, and he did like a Wolverine pose.
Yeah, because
So
there's a
sexy.
new
Yeah,
Wolverine
so he's
movie.
like working out.
Looks
He's
awesome.
Perfect.
Looks
he's perfect
awesome.
in my eyes. So I guess he has obviously crazy fans. And there's one woman.
Oh, that's right. There was a woman stalking him, right?
Yeah, one woman, I don't know the name, but an older woman, I think she was in her 40s, when she got arrested. She threw a electric razor at his face. Like, it must not have been hard, because I don't think he was injured. And they said electric razor, and it's kind of dense.
Yeah, those things, they have a motor in them.
So I didn't say, like, he got injured. But it was filled with pubes. Yeah, like, how nasty. And she was, like, confessing her love for him, and then was taken away. How nasty.
Now,
nasty.
that is... I mean,
nasty.
Can't you just say you like somebody?
Yeah, can't you just be like, I like you? Obviously, you can get close enough to say that. You have to shave your bush and then throw this razor at his face.
Yeah, you're gonna hurt. At least
those things are dense.
Yeah, but
and
like
now with your.
Like Elvis, like when Elvis used, the women used to throw their panties at him.
Right.
And
nice.
Tom Jones, Tom Jones always had the women throwing
delicate.
Yeah, panties.
A freaking razor.
You're gonna hurt the guy.
With pubes, nonetheless.
Breaking news, Hugh Jackman now officially been crippled by a crazed fan. Like is missing an eye.
Oh, how gross.
Apparently, hair follicles and... got into his optic nerves.
Yeah, I know. I scratched his cornea.
Now he's blind.
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting and creepy.
Together. Yeah, like you plan that. Like you're like, today, I know where he's going to be and I'm going to shave. And I'm going to bring this out into the world.
She's like carrying it around.
Right, like it was like what, in your pocket?
Because I used to have the Norelco, you know what I'm saying? The one that has like the three, that's like their trademark.
Yeah.
That thing was fucking heavy.
Right,
you know
like
there's a motor in there.
Yeah,
rechargeable
like
batteries in there. You know, you will hurt somebody.
I don't know if she tossed it, threw it, or what, but still. Lock that bitch up.
Yeah. She needs mental... she could claim insanity, because you can't do something like that's not normal.
You have to be insane.
But the new Hugh Jackman, because, they're talking... Because think about it, he was in
it was a sexy photo.
3 X-Men movies, Wolverine Origins, now there's a new one, I didn't catch the name of it, and I should know.
The new one?
It's basically Wolverine Goes to Japan.
Oh.
Might as well just call it that. It's,
like some weird porn.
Yeah, well, you got these guys, samurai swords and
Wolverine
and martial arts, and you got, Wolverine. So this is like his 5th or 6th movie playing the same character, but it's like, the train is not stopping, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had a super brief cameo in X-Men First Class, playing himself.
And they're doing the new one, right?
And now they're doing the new one, Days of Future Past.
Halle Berry said, and I don't know when if they started filming or what, because now she's pregnant. She said, like, she's not opposed to being in it.
Yeah.
So it's like... Well,
yeah, because she's so busy.
Yeah, I know. She's just so busy. It's like, girl, you got a baby bump right now. Let's figure that out first.
I mean, she had made the announcement. In my mind, it's like, yeah, what else are you
doing?
I mean, she did breastfeeding. She did, well, because she recently did that movie about her being an operator.
Yeah.
The Call.
Yeah.
And it was produced by, WWE Studios, the wrestling studios.
Really?
But I don't know if I don't think there's any wrestlers in it. There might be one guy in it.
I just saw like her and then whoever the hell's making the call.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't see any big
I mean, no one's famous.
Right.
Well,
it's any big. Maybe it's
there's a guy. There's a guy named Wade Barrett is the name of the new. He's a relatively new wrestler.
I was gonna say maybe they got somebody lower on the totem pole in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a decent wrestler. He has a British accent.
Did you hear about Triple H?
Yeah,
Poor thing at WrestleMania. He got second-degree burns from the dry ice that they used for him to walk out on. And, like, you could, I guess, because I didn't watch it. My friend watched it, and he, like, called it during. He's like, is that still dry ice on? Because you could, I guess, during it, like, you could kind of see it still.
Oh,
and they're like, no. And then, like, later
on. It must have been boiling his skin.
Yeah, he said, like, it burned him, like, going out there, but he still performed. And then afterwards, like, this fucking hurt. Like, second-degree burns on, like, his... I think, like, his torso, maybe his hands or something.
That's a real man.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, second. It's like, not like first. Or like, you're... and you perform. I'm like, get me the fuck out of here.
He did a book signing about, like, working out.
Yeah.
And I just went because I just wanted to meet him. And so I shook his hand. He has
I'm sure it's like a bear claw, right?
Meat hook. But, he's already, unfortunate. I mean, he's relatively young, but his hands are already, like, gnarled up.
Like, yeah.
Like, he shook my hand, but it felt like...
It's not like that strong handshake.
Like it was a strong handshake, but it was like a freaking lobster. It was like grabbing a rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have a picture of me shaking his hand somewhere.
His hands all gnarly.
But you know, he did a match also where he tore his, what do they call this here, your thigh bone, the front of your thigh, the quadricep?
Yeah, these are the quads.
He ripped his quad, and you see the muscle, I mean, and for the audience, imagine, okay, the muscle on the top of your thigh, which I believe is your quadricep, ripped from his knee. So you see the lump between like his waist and the middle of his thigh. You see the lump where the muscle,
ripped apart.
Because the muscle contracted. Yeah. So you see this huge lump and then like nothing under it to the knee. And he wrestled for another couple of minutes.
He must have been shocked afterwards.
And the referees had to literally. And it's funny, they bring out the stretcher for fake shit.
Right, this time it was like...
He walked out! Like, I mean, of course, with two referees with his arms over their shoulder. He freaking walked out!
Beast.
You know, and he's married to the boss's daughter, so...
he's doing well.
He's a tough guy, but you know what it is?
Oh my god, that's gotta...
But that's proven, you like, no one... Because you
know... rubbing my leg in pain.
The natural order would be if sometimes something was to happen to Vince McMahon, it would probably go to his kids. You know, so Triple H can be the boss. You can't say shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, look, I wrestled with a ripped quadricep.
Second degree burns.
I wrestled with second degree burns. There ain't nothing.
Not that pussy X-Pac who had a ripped anus.
There ain't nothing you could tell me
that... Oh my god, that's gotta hurt so bad.
Because I mean, you know, as Vince McMahon ain't getting any younger, you know, it's going to be Stephanie and Shane McMahon running the company well after Vince is gone, and then Stephanie being married to Triple H, to Jean-Paul Levesque.
Jean-Paul.
You know, and he's going to push the guys. Like I said, he's going to say, "Look, what can you tell me that I haven't ripped?"
I'm going to shoot you in the leg, and you still perform. He's just putting everybody through the test.
And so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hello, this is Cordero Ulloa.
I'm Dwight Graham.
Hey, this is Seth.
Hey, podcasters, this is Nick Pilgrim.
We'd like to invite you to sit in for some free funny provided by the Living Lane Podcast Entertainment Network. For movie and television news, shared with all the fervor you'd expect from a group of pop culture junkies, check out the insights of Seth Parker, Cordero Ulloa, and Alex Chittenden on Real Chat.
If numerology and astrology interest you, drop in the public forums and join the discussion with Joe Fox, Carrie Fox, and Foxy D on the Foxton. Or pop in on Two Strangers, One Podcast with Chris Cologne and Kristen Montrello and get to know them as they get to know each other.
For music news and concert stories, check out The Breakdown, where we all share our interests and opinions on what we do best, music. Or for the big daddy that started it all, join Cordero Ulloa, Dwight Graham, myself, Joe and Carrie Fox, Seth Parker, and Megan Phelps on Livin' Lane.
To check all these shows out, visit www.livinlanepodcastentertainment.com. It's all one word.
Have a sense of humor.
See ya!
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. Pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase. And we're back. You know what it is? I have to make sure it's a nice long break so I can actually see it when I'm editing the episode.
Okay. I always wondered why you waited, because I'm like, never mind. You do all the editing, so I have nothing to say about it. Last night was the MTV
Movie Awards, which I missed.
I didn't even know it was on, and then I turned it, I was looking for something to watch.
Oh, it'll be on a million times.
And suddenly I was like, oh! And I caught it right at the beginning, and I watched the opening. Rebel
Wilson hosted it. She did a musical number or something like that at the beginning.
I love her, yeah.
I missed it.
It started up, how about she flew in as Iron Man? She was in Australia, is where she's quote-unquote was. Uh-huh. And then, DeFranco picks her up and is like, we got this suit for you to fly, because we need you there now. And it's this fat fat Iron Man suit. Like, it's chubby, and then she flies in, and then, yeah, like, she sings, like, she starts singing, like, ooh, there's a lot of people, and that just goes. And at the end, cause I caught, like, here or there, that it was, like, at the end, she's like, making a speech, and she's trying to make it serious. She's like, you know, for people out there, I have, like, oh, what the hell, like a deformity, and, you know, and I want, like, people, and then, like, the left boob, like, comes out, it's not real, but it comes out, it's a fake boob with, like, 2 nipples, and she's, like, still talking, and she's like, I don't want to get into details, and I'm also overweight, so respect people who are overweight, like, this whole thing, like, don't bully, and, like, her boobs out, with, like, these 2 nipples, and she's like, I don't know why you guys are laughing, it's just, like, respect people who are overweight, and stuff like that.
Wow, I can't believe MTV got away with it.
Yeah, well, it was a fake boob. I know, like, they didn't blur it out or anything.
You know, it's probably just because the first night. I guarantee you any re-airing is going to have that.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be blurred out after that. But, no, from what I saw, she did a good job. She was hysterical.
Cause there's, I mean, you could bleep out curses because they have it on a delay. You can't blur out.
In the beginning, they do that. Oh, my God. Where the line, she's like, this is fucking awesome, is the line in the song.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And she says it, but they obviously knew that that's what she's going to say because that's the opening. Mm-hmm. So they had that bleeped out. And,
yeah, well, they're on the delay.
Yeah,
so
and they have that delay.
But you can't blur.
Right,
so
like they didn't...
I wonder if those... I'm curious if that was done without letting people from MTV know.
Yeah, I don't know when they do that shit. Surprise!
Yeah, because I remember years and years ago when they had Andrew Dice Clay on, and I was watching the night...
Hickory-dickory dock.
And he did and he's cursing, and I remember watching it, and you know, that actually... Andrew Dice Clay is like the only person in history to be banned. He has a ban for life from MTV because he was doing his act, you know. And
right.
And then there's a big, and you grab their tits, and it's like a bag of shit. And like, you know, and it was like the most craziest, ridiculous.
Going off.
Yeah. So it was. So I think Andrew Dice Clay is the only person in the history of MTV that's been banned.
Officially banned for life.
But,
he had his moment.
But yeah, the cursing.
So do you know who won movie of the year?
I want to know. Okay, I heard this on the radio, so I'm kind of cheating. Oh no, wait, you're smiling. So I'm wondering. Was it Silver Linings Playbook?
No, but Bradley
Cooper won Best Male Actor,
and had like a serious speech. He like went up, he's like, I want to thank, and then he thanked like, you know, real quick thank you, and then he was like it was so serious, it's just, and it was out of nowhere. He's like, you know, one thing with this movie is I got to go overseas, and I met a lot of people with post-traumatic stress disorder from the war, and more people committed suicide due to that than people died in the war, so that's a real epidemic, and then that was it.
Oh, wow.
It was like, okay. like it was just kind of like people weren't expecting that, and I'm like, alright.
Yeah, oh boy.
So he definitely had his moment. I don't know if he was on later, but that was the only thing I saw.
Okay, so who won Best Movie?
The Avengers.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah.
And what's his name?
Well deserved.
Loki won
Best Villain.
Best Villain.
Okay.
Yes. Ooh, he's a hottie bombadi.
I mean, he was a good villain. I think they could have, and it has nothing to do with, he had a great performance. They could have done more with him, in my opinion. With, you know, I mean, the guy was good enough that he's the villain in 2 movies, you know, Thor and the Avengers.
Yeah.
But, like I said, my one tiny thing, you know, and let's be honest with you, I love the Avengers. The last hour is probably like the best movie ever. The first hour is a little,
trying to get the storyline going.
So Loki, you know, and I can say that now because I've seen the Avengers a bunch of fucking times. I've seriously have probably watched the Avengers about 20 times now.
And they also showed Hunger Games, the next one, which is Catching Fire, that trailer.
Oh, I heard about it. It's like a 2-minute trailer.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks real good.
With Jennifer Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. And what the heck's her name? Elizabeth Banks.
As the announcer or whatever.
Yeah.
I never heard the books, but has Jennifer Lawrence? And I'm not saying this. I think she's cute. Has she lost any weight? Did she look thinner in this movie? Because she was a little chubby. She was kind of chubby.
She looks normal.
By Hollywood standards, she was chubby.
I think she looks the same as the first one.
Oh, okay.
Like, I didn't notice anything like crazy skinny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, usually when somebody sees themselves in the first movie, they're like, I gotta lose weight because that's the standard in Hollywood. But no, I think she looked the same.
Yeah, I'll probably, you know, it is, I guess you enjoy movies better when you know the actress. Cause like, I didn't know her before. Right. You know, and then like I sat through frickin' Winter's Bone.
That's right. Some random movie.
Yeah. And then, you know, she was playing a girl that was living like in a house, but they were like out in the middle of nowhere. They were like in the sticks, and then the father died. No, sorry. The father didn't go to court, so they had he put the lien up against the house so he can pay bail. But then she's saying that her father died, and they found the body. And I don't think that's really spoiled.
Lifetime movie network.
Oh yeah, no, it was all drama. It was all drama, and then they're like dirt poor. So since the father hasn't been around, like she's teaching the kids how to like hunt squirrels so they can have meat. And so
basically Hunger Games.
Right.
That's how she was.
But
big.
she was. I think that she was a bit younger in that movie, but she looked like a kid.
Now.
She looked like one of those
20s.
tough white girls, like
I think
you see in the street. You're like, I'm not gonna fuck with her.
her.
She got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, you win.
You shooting squirrels for dinner.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into this because you win. All right.
So the Avengers, now with the Avengers, Iron Man 3.
Oh yeah, coming up.
They're showing more trailers. Mm-hmm. But I do have to say this.
I saw, what's her name in the...
Oh, they spoil it. Yeah, that's
I was going to say, all of a sudden I saw that, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Pepper Potts in the Iron Man outfit.
Because I was like, I don't recall seeing that porn.
Well, there is, in the comic book, there's a million Iron Man costumes.
Yeah. Unlimited.
Yeah, I guess that's it depends on what comic you read, because, like, in the movie, they show, like, 5 or 6 up against the wall.
Yeah.
In the comic book, like, he walks into a room and there's 300.
Right.
So,
because the first couple trailers, or, like, stills that they showed, like, probably a year ago, I don't know, how months ago, it left it open-ended. Like, you had all these other thoughts of what it could be with those suits. And now suddenly it's, what's her name?
Yeah, Pepper Potts in it. But there is one scene where, like, there's, like, 8 or 9 different suits floating in the air, so they never really tell you who's controlling it. My theory is that in the it depends, because the comic books are always because there's different writers.
Right, you can't.
That some of, my theory is that those are all controlled by Tony Stark. There's nobody inside them. But, they show, but the one thing that there's a little bit of confusion about is he has one, now me being a fan, I'm going on the website, so there's different suits. Obviously there's different suits for different tasks. If you're going to be underwater, you wear one suit. If you're going to be, going up past the stratosphere into actual outer space, there's another one. There's, there's one if you're in, if you're going to be walking through lava, there's one if you're going to be up in the Arctic.
Everyday stuff.
Yeah, it's they're themed outfits. So in the movie, and a lot of people are getting confused, and he has one that's called Igor, which it's the Iron Man suit, but it's all bulky, and the head is down lower.
I was gonna say, is it hunchback? Like,
it is. It's almost like a hunchback, because the armor is so big that the head is almost like at the same level as the shoulders. So he calls it Igor because Igor had a hunchback. Everyone is saying that's the Hulkbuster suit, and I mentioned this in other episodes. The Hulkbuster suit is because Iron Man makes a suit that's like as big as the Hulk. In case the Hulk gets out of control, he can
put him in his place.
Yeah, because it's a threat. It's a possible threat. You don't ever know what side he's going to be on. So a lot of people are confusing the Igor suit for the Hulkbuster suit, and I know that's a nerdy thing, but I just want to let people know that it's not the Hulkbuster suit.
Igor.
It's called Igor, which honestly I've never heard of Igor before. They're making these names for the movie.
Okay. So they're not in the comic books.
They may be, but I've never seen the Igor suit. I have seen the Hulkbuster suit, but it's like
it'd be a different variation.
I think, now Disney owns it all. Yeah. Disney finally woke up and said, wow, we can make 1 billion suits and market them.
Suit.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's like,
going on all when
me being a big kid, I go through the toy aisle. And all the variations of the Iron Man suit are for sale, and they're $10 a pop.
Easily. Well, you think they're only going to do one?
Oh yeah,
Make it where you could change it? No.
Yeah. And we have the Mark V, and then the Gemini suit, and the Igor suit, and the Iron Patriot suit.
You couldn't make them like $3. That way I could get a whole bunch of them.
No, they're $10 a pop. Now, mind you, the old Spider-Man stuff is in the dollar store right now, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. I was gonna get some Spider-Man stuff.
We gotta get. Well, I'm trying to think. I just had the dates of when they're shooting Spider-Man. Here. It's like 10 days.
It's the end of May. No, is it?
End of April.
The end of April, beginning of May. I submitted, you can...
Oh, you got... Okay.
Alright, and I wanted to share it on my page, but I don't want other people to go, because I want to be... They said, they're looking for 300 extras, but...
I'd be the one in the back who was staring at the camera.
No, but get this, they're looking for 300 extras, but they want you to bring your car. They're doing a car chase here in Rochester. Ooh. Now, there was...
Do you know where it's located, or did they not reveal that?
Main Street. They said Main Street, which over here in Rochester. And there's a lot of old classic buildings that it totally makes sense them doing Main Street. East Avenue, once again, East Avenue has a lot of like collegiate looking buildings. Mm-hmm. And I knew there's one other place. So they're looking for 300 extras. And they said to submit a photo of yourself, but also they want the make and model of your car because I guess during the chase scene, they want your car. Now, back when they were filming Transformers 3, there was a woman in Chicago who a special effect went wrong and she got put in the hospital. You know, during the filming because something blew up, hit her car, and I saw it online, and I remember reading the article, and they had a new car. Of course, a movie theater is probably insured out the gills, but but if it was me, if I got injured on Transformers 3, I'd say, look, you don't have to give me a dime. Put me in Transformers 4.
Yeah, that's all.
You know, look, I don't make me.
Let's make this deal right now.
You know, if I have to come up and, Optimus Prime needs to grab a piece of paper and I hand him the paper, that's all I want.
I'll even be in the background.
So I submitted my photo. Of course, the photo of me like 100 pounds thinner.
Photoshop. Do you want to be Photoshop or something?
But that's what I don't understand is and I would hope it's funny I didn't share the address, but I wish it would be like, okay, if they got 300 people, like if I knew someone that did get picked, can I go in the car too? Please?
Yeah,
I mean,
in the backseat.
It's only just one passenger.
And then it starts and you're like in the back.
Popping up. Hey, Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
So
they're interesting to see. 10 days are here.
I guess they'll say, I'll put it like this. If you're a nerd, you can do the search on Google and find out where you got to submit your information.
There you go. We're not giving you info. Because you have to find it yourself.
When I had submitted it, the story was, because they said it on the news, but I was like ready to go to sleep. And they were like, so of course the first thing I did when I woke up was, was search it. And, like Google lets you know how old like certain articles are. Like, so it was 13 hours old. But then, I know that. I mean, there's a bunch of comic book stores in Rochester. I mean,
Christ.
But
you might be 301.
It's but it was also in the morning, so hopefully maybe nerds sleep.
Might be 301.
But I would be, so
10 days are gonna be here. It's probably how many scenes do you think that is? Probably like one or two. That's what
I'm saying. You probably think about it. A scene is probably like only like a minute or two.
Right. Yeah.
So it's probably like 2-3 minutes in Rochester.
Isn't that crazy? How
and it's
10 days and it's like.
It's going to be Spider-Man swinging through the air, mind you. You're not even going to see the cars. And it'll be just the build. You'll see the buildings of Rochester.
Yeah, right?
You'll see our
beautiful
architecture.
I was below that building.
Yeah. I was right by the Main Street Armory.
The camera went down a little bit. You could see me.
And so
it'll be interesting. It'll be cool.
If I can if I could get on there, I would be the biggest. I'd be so
that person
happy.
that just keeps walking back and forth in the background, like, and then creepily, like, looks.
It did specifically say car chase scenes, so they're looking for cars. So just to be the person driving in the other direction, and because they probably just need traffic. Just so they could CGI any other, because they're not going to put normal people in danger. I mean, the thing that happened in Transformers 3 was, but hey, let me tell you, if they, you want to put me in I'll get hurt.
Me? I don't care. Hit me.
Make me Kingpin in part 3. Kingpin's, the guy played by Michael Clark Duncan. I'll shave my head. You make me Kingpin for part 3. Because Kingpin is even though he was in the Daredevil movie, Kingpin is in the Spider-Man world also. Because Daredevil and Spider-Man are both out in New York, so.
So they gotta cross paths.
No, they've crossed paths a bunch of times. So, just you don't have to give me money. Just give me a part.
That's all.
Just give me a part in the next movie.
Just a character.
I just want to be in Spider-Man 3. But I am now. They have revamped because Jamie Foxx is playing Electro.
Yeah.
And there is a new the Electro now in the comics. Because before it was corny, he had this green suit with his mask looked like lightning bolts coming out, a yellow mask, not really intimidating. But the new one, it's like all silver.
Okay,
and
so
he has it looks like it's, even though it's two different colors of silver, but like the lightning bolts are going down his head, like around his head. So, and they'll probably make his eyes glow and stuff like that. And, it's a CGI. So, Jamie, I don't think Jamie Foxx is going to allow them to make him look corny. So it's going to.
I'm not motherfucking putting that suit on.
Part 2 is going to be good. As much as I say, I didn't like part 1. I think part 2 is going to.
This is it. It's happening.
Yeah. And they announced another bad guy. And I know they were talking about it on Live and Lame, our brothers on the West Coast. Their most recent episode of Real Chat. They announced there's going to be one more person, another villain.
Another villain that they're
So I was like, oh, Jesus. I mean, I hope they don't kill it.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, but it's like the weirdest combination, Electro and Rhino, because Paul Giamatti's playing Rhino, so that's
be interesting.
Yeah, So just,
there's-
Iron Man, Superman? Okay, no.
Yeah, Superman. Yes, I've been seeing posters more and more.
Yeah,
They've been putting up. When does it come out?
June 14th.
Is it okay?
My birthday. And actually, I'm gonna show Kristen right now.
I did see there's some like newer posters, and I was like, ooh, hottie.
I'm reading a comic now that I got out of the library.
So old.
It says it's called Superman for All Seasons, and it was made by the writer was Jeff Loeb, and the artist is Tim Sale, and they're purposely going for an old school look. And the rumors that I'm hearing was that the movie, or at least the beginning part of the movie, is based on this comic book. That's what I heard through the, because, we all have to keep in mind that as much as Superman is Superman and he's badass, he's a farm boy. He was raised in a very simple, there's a reason why he's a big Boy Scout, because he was raised in this really wholesome environment. So, but they made one announcement that there's not going to be kryptonite in the movie.
Isn't that like the thing?
That's like
it's the whole, like anybody who knows Superman, and I don't know him that much, even I know kryptonite. Like, shouldn't that be in it? Like, even if you just say a sentence with it?
Maybe they're holding out for part 2. All these movies are the same. 1 is like the intro, and then 2 it gets awesome, and then 3 it falls off. So I think what they're doing is they're probably going to introduce kryptonite in part 2, but my feeling is that...
Or at the end of the credits of part 1.
Yeah, right, a little... Well, no,
that's usually what they do,
the theory is the scene after Superman is going to be with Christian Bale, but now there's people saying that maybe it might not even be Christian Bale, it might be Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What was he?
Well, in the movie... Like a lot of people go, he's Robin, but not to spoil The Dark Knight Rises, but
but he wasn't. Like, what was his name in it?
Well, no, in the movie his name was Jack Ryder in the movie, but then like he says like his real name was Robin or something like that. But what happens is at the end of the movie, and if you haven't seen it by now, then the people who haven't seen it by now, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Chris is gonna spoil it anyways.
Christian Bale, Bruce Wayne, leaves. He's finally understood that he has to go live his life and not dedicate his whole life to crime fighting and being miserable as Batman. So he basically gives, I'm Batman. And I'm watching it.
That like hurts my throat.
I was telling Kristen walked in today. I'm watching The Dark Knight Rises, and now that I'm watching it with
more respect
now that I'm watching it knowing what kind of to expect and not what I was expecting in my head, I'm actually enjoying it now. So he leaves the suit at the end, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He basically lets Joseph Gordon-Levitt know where the Batcave is.
Right.
Jago Lev goes to the Batcave.
Jago
Lo comes and like what happens is even when you go in the Batcave, everything is still hidden. So he hits like the clicker like that locks your car.
The unlock button.
And the bat suit in a case comes rising out of the water. So it's kind of in the movie it leads you to say he's now going to be the next Batman, even though they were playing with the idea that he was supposed to be the Robin. But I guess they're, Chris Nolan kind of changes everything up. Yeah. So,
I don't know if I like him as Batman.
Well, the theory is,
I don't think he's that big. You know what I'm saying? Like big as in his body frame.
Yeah, no, he's not. I mean, the suit will make you. I mean, I'm pissed off because I just don't like him as an actor. I do not like him.
I like him as a supporting actor. Like I think, and that's really what he has been. I like him in that sense. As like a leading man, I don't think. Yeah, that's going to do really well.
Don't like him at all.
Hello.
Yeah, it's just
it bothers me. In the Outfield, great movie.
Jesus Christ!
There he was the star.
Well, I saw
as a kid.
I recently saw a movie with him, which wasn't really famous, but I checked it out at the library called Kill Shot, and it's him, Mickey Rourke, what's her face from Kids and Clerks 2, Rosario Dawson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was like one other person that was like,
those are some big names.
Diane Lane. Yeah.
Those are big
Diane
names.
Lane, Rosario Dawson, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Mickey Rourke, all in the same movie called Kill Shot. It was it was an okay movie. I think it was like a straight to DVD kind of movie because it was a good movie, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it, and of course, me not like, but in that movie he plays like a real, like hustler, killer, like a real piece of shit on the road kind of a guy, he'll kill anybody just cause that's someone upsets him. and Mickey Rourke is like the trained assassin that kind of,
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he takes Jago Lo under his wing because like he feels responsible, the Mickey Rourke's character feels responsible for him messing up and his little brother got killed on a job they were doing. So now Jago Lo looks like his brother, so he kind of takes him under his wing, but Jago Lo is a little too rowdy for him to be, you know, this
short fuse.
Yeah, real assassins have rules and they're very strict.
Gigolo doesn't.
No, he's just a piece of shit. So I just don't like him
off screen.
But he was the rumor is that he'll take up the Batman suit so they can do a Justice League movie with younger people.
Okay.
You know, and you got Henry Cavill, which you said he was a hottie, right? The guy that guy is playing Superman in the new movie. Have you seen him?
Is that his name? Yeah, I don't
Henry
know his
Cavill.
real name. Yeah,
he's a hottie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. They need the nowadays they need the women demographic,
yeah.
so they gotta get.
No, I don't know if he's been in anything else. I didn't even know his name until now, so I've never looked it up. Yeah, no, he looks really good in the suit and on the posters.
So the rumor is if they do the Justice League movie,
they gotta make it good for guys and girls. So, bravo.
You know, like I said, I got nothing against Chris. What the hell's his name? Chris? No, not Chris. Who plays Captain America? I was gonna say Chris Evans.
Yeah,
okay.
Chris Evans. Yeah.
You know, but he's a hottie for the girls,
Body
but you know,
guys.
But you know, the guys like, you know, I like the action.
Right,
you
you like the action.
You can get the eye candy, I can get the action. Everybody's happy.
But that first, half hour of that movie, I couldn't take it seriously when he's on that leukemia body, and his head is so big. It's like, this, come on. We could have done better. And it's just so awkward.
And I cut you off. You were about to say something. I'm sorry.
I don't know. What did I start it with?
I don't know.
I save it for the next one. It was probably one of my topics.
Something about Avengers or something like that. Because that's when I got right into Batman, Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
I have to nerd it up. I have to nerd it up with my superhero
I don't think
stuff.
I have anything about Avengers. That was the only thing that they won.
But I've been on a real tear. I've been reading a bunch of. My theory, my old mentality was Marvel is better than DC.
Right.
I've been getting so caught up in DC comics recently. I've been reading nothing but Batman, Superman, Power Girl, Green Lantern. Now this is all stuff I'm getting out of the library because I don't have the money to get it in the comic book store. But I mean, it's the perfect kind of, you know, if you're not a collector, and I've said this in the past, I collect what they call, it's not graphic novel, what the hell are they called? When they take a bunch of issues and they put it together as one book. Mm-hmm. And trade paperback, that's the word I'm looking for. So, you know, obviously the library has trade paperbacks, not comic books. Comic books are too fragile. You couldn't have those
So kids would be tearing that shit up.
So it's a trade paperback. So I've been getting a bunch of I've been reading, like I said, Power Girl, Green Lantern, Superman, Batman.
Power Girl.
They
couldn't give her a cool name.
Yeah. Well, Power Girl is Superman's. Power Girl is Supergirl.
Superman's okay.
It's Supergirl, but it's Supergirl from another dimension. just so make sure we're all clear on that. So technically Supergirl and Power Girl can be in the same scene. But oddly enough, they don't like each other because Power Girl has more of an attitude and Supergirl doesn't.
Bitch.
So I've been like,
it's not a power struggle.
I've been just soaking in so much DC stuff, and I'm starting to shift. My, you know, like Marvel. Don't get me wrong, Marvel's a little more on the action, but DC. Like, I don't know, I've been getting really caught up in Superman and Batman. And
you better do something to get your audience back.
Well, nah, Marvel gets the young kids. I mean, you know, if you want to see mutants smashing into each other, and not that there's anything wrong with that, you know, you can go with Marvel, but I don't know, I'm starting to turn a little more DC. I'm starting to get a little more corny. You know, let the good guy, let the blue Boy Scout be the blue Boy Scout.
That's right.
That's Superman.
Yeah, he's gonna be a hottie. He's gonna blow up after this.
Oh yeah,
whatever his name is.
Henry Cavill.
He's
gonna be.
That sounds familiar. That name though.
He wasn't.
I'm gonna look it up.
Maybe he was in like
another actor, Cavill.
I think he was in might have been in The Tudors. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think because he is British. So I think he was on The Tudors. But I added. Let me see. Jacob Rhys Meyers. I think he's going to be doing like a comic book movie also, or he's going to be. I think he's the guy that's going to be in Spider-Man.
The Tudors. Yeah, he's in Tudors.
He's in The Tudors. Okay.
That sounds familiar, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's gonna look good.
Well, the Tudors, I mean, women liked the Tudors because, like, all the guys on that show were, like,
they look nice.
Beefcakes.
Beefcakes.
Beefcake. You haven't heard that one in a while.
I know.
So, let me see. We're coming up on the hour, so let me see. Anything while we were at the, there's a new Evil Dead movie that came out, and
I heard it's gotten good reviews.
I'm hearing it's good. I just I'm tired of remakes. You know, I get where Hollywood's coming from, where they're doing these remakes because, you know,
They're running out of ideas.
They ran out of ideas, but like there's a name recognition there for you to go see Evil Dead.
Like you just have to, even though if you think it's going to be bad because you like the first one. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things you have to go see.
Yeah, and it's
like I had to watch all the Twilights because I read the books. The Twilights were horrible, but I had to watch it.
But it's like, I mean, the one thing that like recently, like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Because Cabin in the Woods, even the name itself is sort of goofing on Evil Dead. Because that's how the Evil Dead was like one of the first
I never saw Evil Dead.
Well, part 1 and part 2 are kind of the same movie. Like, even though they call
part 1 and then
there's Evil Dead part 2 and then part 3 is called Army of Darkness. I don't know if you ever heard Army of Darkness. The thing, now all the movies.
When did they come out?
Oh, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Well, then there was a big gap and then Army of Darkness came out like in 91, 92.
Okay.
And coincidentally, they were all directed by, those 3 were directed by the guy who did the Spider-Man movie, the older Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. So, they start out as horror. And they are horror, and they are kind of scary, and it's fucked up. I mean, there's you're gonna laugh. Like a tree, like, there's a part where like the trees come alive, and you see vines coming. And the vines wrap around the woman holding her down, and then another branch goes in between the legs.
So you get raped by a tree.
You get raped by a tree.
You get raped by a tree.
And it's fucked
up.
up.
Women cannot get away with anything.
I mean, it's, you know, I don't want to make light of it.
Splinters and shit.
You know, I'm not making light of rape, but I mean, you know, it's
a
fucked up scene.
I don't think so that.
You know, like apparently,
I get it with, okay, we're being held down, but we gotta go to that level.
Yeah, right? Could you just rip my head off or something?
There's a hole, we gotta stick a branch up in it.
Yeah, it's a weird, but then like later on in the movies, both of them, well, the first one was more serious. The second one, like I said, which is pretty much like the first one, and now they have characters that come back, but they don't acknowledge, they're like different characters, but they don't acknowledge that they're the same people. It's a weird concept of part 1 and part 2. You might as well just like forget about part 1 and just Evil Dead 2 is the good one. That's the one all the fans really like. And like, you know, his hand gets cut off, but then the hand starts crawling around the room, and it's creepy because it's an evil hand, but then it's funny because it's a hand.
And everybody's terrified.
What can a hand do?
Yeah.
So then, like, there's a part where he loses his mind. So there's like, but you don't know if he's losing his mind, and a combination of like the demons that are taking over the house. So like, there's like a deer's head on the wall, but then the deer's head comes to life and starts laughing, and it's funny, but scary at the same time.
And ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Like one of those where it's like,
come on. And then by the time you get to Army of Darkness is a straight up comedy. It's not even like, they don't even try to make it. It's scary as in, yeah, there's monsters and you know, when you, and seriously, like, that was they made that movie for dirt cheap, but it's a good looking
cheap movie.
Yeah. You could tell it was on a budget, but they did the best they could to make it, you know, and it's like I said, it's more funny. It's skeletons are fighting and the guy's leading the army, but.
And you gotta think, like, this is what I'm watching. Like, one of those, you gotta check yourself while you're watching it. Like, this is
weird, but it's entertaining as hell. And then like because what happens is in that he goes into the past and then he kind of has all these powers now. He comes back to the present, and then the demons decide to attack him in a freaking supermarket. So he's in a supermarket, and
based on a true story.
And they, you know, like you see like an old lady.
It's a reality show. It's a documentary. And then,
and the old lady gets taken over by the demon spirits. And then she
did well though, right?
So but from what I understand,
I think it was #1 at the box office.
From what I understand, this is a straight up serious.
Oh, so
there's no comedy to it whatsoever.
Straight up horror.
Yeah, like I mean, there's references to the earlier movies, but it's like there's no comedy. It's straight up bloody, hack 'em up horror.
So I know they'd be, which is probably hard to do. Scary Movie 5.
Scary Movie 5, which I do want to see.
Which I know it's one of those. I'm not paying like $15 to go to the theater. I can wait.
As soon as it's in Redbox,
I can wait this one. Definitely I'll see it. Maybe I'll rent it. Maybe I'll wait till it comes on TV.
Oh yeah. And when they play it on Comedy Central every Saturday night. Right? Give it another year and a half.
That'll be one that I'll see. Like, when I see it, I'll be like, you just gotta watch them. They're so ridiculous.
You have to know what happens, even though there's like no characters.
Right, like there's, it's just ridiculous. There's like not really a storyline, but kind of.
Well, technically Charlie Sheen, because Charlie Sheen was in part 4, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was in one of them, 3 or 4.
I think it was. I'm
they're
pretty
all
sure
like meshed together. I don't know which one.
Well, 4. He was in it because he was playing the Mel Gibson type character when they were goofing on Signs.
Signs, yeah. Yeah, so, he was in it.
So I guess he's like the one. He's the one. Charlie Sheen's the one link between the two movies.
Like, oh, okay.
Well, not that I'm pretty sure they don't really care about continuity. So, like I said, I mean, you got movies like Cabin in the Woods that are original. Like, I don't know, why aren't there, they should be more original movies, but I guess they have to, Hollywood goes, oh, well, if we call Evil Dead, people are going to come out and see it.
Right.
Even though it's a whole different movie.
Draw you in.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
You know, when the funny thing is Cabin in the Woods, then the name itself is a joke to Evil Dead. You know what I'm saying? Because that Evil Dead was like the first movie like that with Cabin in the Woods. I mean, unless you want to say like the very, very, very first Night of the Living Dead, but that's not really, you know, that's a different genre. It wasn't like people getting hacked and slashed in the movie. You know, it's not like it wasn't a blood fest.
A gore fest, yeah.
It was just creepy. So that being said, I think we should start wrapping it up. We're past the hour mark. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.com. You can find the links for everything. My eBay isn't up. I probably have like 3 video games up on eBay right now. I just haven't had a chance.
It out.
I've been too busy pimping our Indiegogo.
Hey,
you can go to Facebook.
Donate. Even if it's $5, we'll love you forever.
Yeah, $5 will get you a ticket to StrangerCon. Yeah. And if you can't make it to Rochester, New York, I'm pretty sure if there's people who will technically buy tickets who can't make it to StrangerCon, you'll be there in spirit.
You'll be there. We'll
shout you out. We'll do
a memorial.
Yeah, we'll you
for
know,
those who can't make it.
We'll keep it maybe.
We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, we'll do something special for you. You could buy a ticket for StrangerCon even if you're not going to make it, but you know,
we'll give you recognition. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
And StrangerCon is our live event that we're having in downtown Rochester, June 15th. Right now, the details are still kind of up in the air, but me and Kristen will be recording the podcast live.
Holla.
Of course, cards subject to change. We are planning to have the J.J. Lang Band. They just got picked up by a representative, so I hope we don't have to renegotiate. They got representation out of Buffalo.
Oh,
so
didn't they go to California?
They played Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
But now they got local representation, so I'm kind of hoping that that doesn't mean look, and not for nothing, we had emails going back and forth, so it is kind of not even a verbal agreement. It is kind of on paper,
a written agreement.
You know, even though nothing's signed, but. You know, but we'll figure that out as it goes on. But
so far, right now we have
cards subject to change. But
that's what we have right now.
The J.J. Lang Band is scheduled to play
hopefully some at our shows as well. So.
Maybe we're probably gonna have a little improv. So the lineup will be improv, us. Then the J.J. Lang Band. So get your laugh on, get your rock on.
Show. You got everything.
It's a little everything. You're definitely gonna come. You're definitely gonna have a good time. We're gonna make you laugh. Then you're gonna rock out. You can't go wrong for $5. Mm-hmm. You can't go wrong. BYOB. So
save money there.
You know, there's not
$5 drinks at the bar.
We're not gonna
bring your own stuff.
And there's a place right down the block. There's a place. It's literally and it's within walking distance. You go grab a 6-pack or 2, and. Grab a 6-pack, come and enjoy the show. Yeah, we can have fun. Okay, StrangerCon is our live event. Visit our Indiegogo page. You can donate money to the show. You can go to
support our show.
Just search for Two Strangers One Podcast Indiegogo, which is INDIEGOO. Indie like indie movie, gogo like go-go dancer. But it's all one word.
If you don't remember Indiegogo, you can even just type it in Yahoo and Indiegogo will come up. Like type in Two Strangers One Podcast and Indiegogo will be a website that comes up.
Yeah.
Just in case you forget it.
And I do see what I do put like Indiegogo and like I think like at least on Google the first link is actually our YouTube video. And guys, if you haven't sseen the video yet, you have to see the video. Okay, the first part is epic. If you like the beginning of this episode, this commercial is the same announcer. I edited that freaking thing for 5 days. I think it came out good.
Masterpiece.
It's an epic trailer.
The bloopers at the end, you'll enjoy.
And then the bloopers alone. Okay, I could understand
That's us trying to do like 2 minutes of speaking. Yeah. and it's filmed for what, 8-10 minutes?
I think we're funnier in that minute and a half than we are during a whole friggin' episode. And that was unintentional.
Yeah, that was just us.
But I don't want to downplay our show. Right. This is a funny ass show. But that being said, watch the epic trailer because it's that summer feeling, like the weather's nice. And I love this part of the year because you go to the movies and you see all the trailers and you get the hair on the back of your neck all tingly. Like,
all excited.
I wanted to go for that vibe for our Indiegogo video.
For a cool trailer. Check it out.
So it's a cool trailer. It's an epic cool trailer. And then the bloopers at the end are worth the view alone. If you want to go ahead, just skip 2 minutes and a half and then just watch the last minute and a half. I guarantee if you don't laugh,
get a sense of humor.
If you don't laugh, I'll give you $20.
There you go.
But if you do laugh, you have to give us $50.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta give us 50. That's the agreement.
And so there's our Indiegogo page. You could like us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. Hover over the like button. Click show and news feed. Share us with your friends. I got banned. I've been spamming so much people. I got banned from Facebook for 15 days for sharing the link to our Indiegogo. So you guys, in my absence, please take 2 seconds to just share either the whole page or this episode. Let your friends know about it, because we've been getting a good steady flow of likes, and welcome to all the new people. You can, if you haven't done it yet, you can subscribe to us on iTunes if you have an iPhone, iPad, iPod. All those wonderful things. Just go to the iTunes store, go to the podcast, which is the upper right little tab. You click podcast, then you search for Two Strangers, One Podcast. It'll come up Chris and Kristen, Two Strangers, One Podcast. You see our beautiful red, white, and blue logo. You could download all the episodes on iTunes, or you can just go to twostrangersonepodcast.com.
Link Central.
Click the link. There is a link that I put up saying download our episode. So there will give you the link to iTunes. It would also link you to our Podomatic site if you don't have an iPad, iPod, iPhone, any of those iProducts. You could also just go to our Podomatic site and download all the episodes. So if you have an Android device or something like that. But if you want to stream us, you can stream us on the Android device. It's called Stitcher, Stitcher. The people there are so awesome, so cool. I listen to all my podcasts on Stitcher. And also on iTunes and Stitcher, our brothers on the West Coast, Livin' Lame. You can find out about all their shows at livinlamepodcastentertainment.com. That's Livin, no G, lame, Lame, podcast entertainment. There's the links for all the shows. Of course, my favorite would be Two Strangers in the Podcast. I'm sorry, I'm a little biased there. But of course, the granddaddy that started it all, Livin' Lame Podcast, is about 7 guys who all come out and record the shows, and then they all kind of split off and do their own things. There's the Real Chat, like I mentioned earlier. They were talking about the new Spider-Man movie. There's the Fox Den, which is about astrology and numerology and nature and all that good stuff. They started a podcast called Down in Derby, where they're interviewing girls from the Red Bluff Derby team. We may have my old neighbor, who is the Rock Derby girls in Rochester, which hopefully, I haven't even asked her yet, but I know, she knows me. Hopefully she'll be on our show of ours a little later in the future. And The Breakdown, which is their music show, but every Sunday I've been releasing an episode under The Breakdown, Chris's Hidden Metal Show. This past week, by the time this episode comes out, this past week's episode was comedy metal, and then next week's episode is a guy that supported our Kickstarter. His name is Tommy B. So that episode is called Tommy B, and he's a big Megadeth fan and Danzig fan, so I played a bunch of Megadeth songs and Danzig songs. So check out Chris's Hidden Metal Show. That was episode 10. You could go back, and I have episodes about road rage. I have episodes about war and politics. I have episodes about just fucking shit up. So I listen to my own shit. I'm sorry if you want to call me egotistical or not. So we certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Kristen.
Don't be a stranger.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read it?
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking, are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia is spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
yeah,
man.
Is.
Look at her, fucking, she's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin, that's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm gonna make that smelly joke.
I know, you're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.